demonstrate how to create provisioning templates for various web app servers. Hence, the demonstration is focused for discovering and provisioning on my Tomcat IIS and Nginx server. Simply click on the plus button on the top right corner. I'll create a template name with a web app server. Select the signature algorithm. So Nginx supports up to SHA-512 ECDSA. I'll just select the standard SHA-256. Key algorithm supports up to 4096. However, I'll select the standard 2048 in this scenario and include the subject DN details as per the requirement. And also we can include custom OIDs if needed onto the certificate detail besides the SAN detail. For multi-domains, for multi-subdomains IP address, we can include the SAN detail as well. Now my CSR template is created successfully. The next step is to create my provisioning template. So I click on the plus on the top right corner once again, create a certificate information, providing the template name as SSL Tomcat. Since I'll be creating a provisioning template for my Tomcat server, I'll select the type as DV. Go ahead with the CSR template that I just created earlier, that is web app server. We can use default template. We can create a new template if required. We can use a new we can create a new key pair or use existing key pair that created under the key management on Nginx. And we have various key stores types supported: PKCS12, JKS, PFX, and HSM. However, this scenario, I'll go ahead with PKCS12. Next is to configure the deployment type. Since this is a provisioning template for my Tomcat server, I'll select the Tomcat server type, specify the path, directory path where my Tomcat server is installed. There is under C, Apache Tomcat version, followed by the directory that is bin. Next is to input my Tomcat service name, which is Tomcat 9. We can get this information from the Tomcat service running on the server and specify the key store folder path. Next is to select the CA type. Hence, this is an internal IIS server running. So I'll go ahead with the private PKI EMCA as my issuing CA for the certificate. So I'll just quickly rename once again my Tomcat server template and save this provisioning template for my Tomcat server. Hence, I have my Tomcat provisioning template ready. And the second, I'll also create my provisioning template for IIS or Nginx server. I'll go ahead with the Nginx template name as Nginx server, select the origin as SSL TLS certificate. The CSR template will be the web app server that I had created earlier. I'll keep the default template, select the new key pair type and the PKCS12 store format. Select the server type as Nginx, since this is a provisioning for Nginx server. Specify the installation path of my Nginx server, followed by the key store folder path. So after fitting all this information, finally I go ahead and define my CA, that is the private PKI MCA for my Nginx server. Now third, I'll go ahead and create the provisioning template for my IIS server. Similarly, I'll click on the plus button, specify the template name. I'll go with IIS web server. Select the origin, which is basically SSL TLS certificate. Select the CSR template as web server and certificate type as a DV. Default template itself, store type is PKCS12. Now specify the deployment type, which is IIS, and the key store path. And finally, I have the CA type, which is the private PKI EMCA. So therefore, I have my provisioning templates for all the three servers successfully created, displayed on my panel.